Welcome back to a quick tutorial. We're looking at the magazine promo from Motion Array in this video. I'm going to be showing you step-by-step process in terms of how to customize it. No fancy edits, no fancy subscribe buttons, just me and you today going through this. So if you've found this promo, get kind of confused when opening up and working with After Effects templates, stick around. I'm going to go step by step. So if you do want to create a magazine promo, this is a fantastic template. What I'm going to be showing you is actually how to, of course, replace these images, but also when come time for exporting, I like to remove the backgrounds in the templates and be able to customize the video to my liking. So if you want to be able to take any template in After Effects from Motion Array or from any other website, and learn how to customize it and change certain elements like the background or like the images, this video is going to be perfect for you. So the first step, of course, locate your template. If you're working off of this one, you can go ahead and click download, or just go ahead and download any template that you want. I'm going to be selecting the folder I would like to save it in and go ahead and start that download. Once your item does download, you're going to go ahead and open the folder that you saved the file to, and looking for magazine promo here. Okay, you will need to extract the folder, so when it downloads it will look like this. It has a little zipped icon. You want to right click and go ahead and press extract and click extract, and it will go ahead and extract all those files. Okay, I'm just going to skip that process. So step number one, we're going to double click and look for the After Effects file here. All right, and go ahead and make this a little bigger. We want to double click After Effects, and we're looking for the magazine promo AE file. You'll be able to tell that because the type says Adobe After Effects project, or it has that little AE on the left hand side. We're going to double click that, and what it's going to do is it's going to automatically bring up Adobe After Effects, and it might take some time to load. Once it loads, with a lot of the templates, what you're going to see is a notification that says After Effects, this project must be converted from version whatever it was made in. The original file will be unchanged. Go ahead and click OK, and it's going to open your project. All right, so here we are with the initial template. And as you can see, the images have changed to like these placeholders, okay? So the first step in all templates is just to observe. We can scan through the project and we can kind of see what we're looking at, all right? Now, what we want to look at is come up to the left-hand side of the screen and click this downward arrow. You'll see three subcomps. You'll see Final Comp, Other, and Edit. I encourage you to look in all of them and see what is in them. You can see the assets, the background, placeholders. Here you can see under the Edit tab, which is where we're going to be customizing things, where you can put your logo, text, image. And we can scan for this and look for text, all right? So what the text is it is these page numbers, okay? I don't want any text in my video. The other place that text is going to show up is at the very end of this promo where it says magazine promo here. I don't want to even use the end screen. If you do, what you would do is you'd come into the text. Chances are we're going to look at text 4 here where it says magazine promo because it's at the very end of the video. And you can see that's going to be reflective of this Instagram lower third, it looks like, magazine_promo. magazine_promo. So you could change this. You could double click and you could say, at 8482 media. And you could move this. Let's say we want it to look a little bit more in the center. We could come back to Final Comp and you can see that Instagram handle there, text, has been changed. Okay. Text 3 is going to be the Facebook, text 2 going to be the Twitter, and then magazine promo should be text 1. Yep. And you can go ahead and change that too if you'd like. 8482 media. All right. And then we can always come back to Final Comp here, and we can see and preview the changes by going and scanning the entire timeline. We're going to move on from the text and focus on the main portion of this video. What we want to do is edit the images within the video. So here it's very clear. You can see the main cover intro. We have the main cover intro inside, main cover outro, and we have all of the pages. All right. So our job is going to be to come to the very beginning, and we can see the main cover, right, intro. And we're going to want to go ahead and double click the main cover intro, and we're going to want to put our image here. All right. So if you're working off a specific magazine, if you have an ebook or a PDF that you're working with, you're just going to go ahead and take the cover photo and slide it right into that project. All right. Now I can delete the background image from this. And what I want to do is click on that image, and I want to right click, come to transform, and I'm going to go ahead and say fit to comp height. All right. Now, the way that you're previewing your screen, a lot of these templates will have you previewing at 100% or 400%. And so you can think, wow, this looks horrible. I need to somehow resize my image. First, go ahead and make sure that your magnification ratio is set to fit. Then you'll be previewing what you are actually working with. All right, so if we deleted this and just brought this in again, for example, you can see that that is the actual import size of the PDF that I'm working with. And we can go ahead and transform it, and we can say fit to comp. All right. And the other thing is, you can look at it, it's a little bit blurry. Well, we can come and select, full quality for previewing. It will go a little slower, so we can drop that again. But if you just are worried that your image looks bad, don't worry. It's all good. All right, so that's our first placeholder installed. We can come back to Final Comp and take a look. Look at that. We have our first placeholder. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the main cover intro inside. All right, what we want to do here is you're looking for that first page of your ebook. I'm going to go ahead and bring that in, and the same rules apply. I'm going to select fit. I'm going to right click, transform, and fit to comp. All right, I can delete the previous image that was in that placeholder, and I can come back to my final comp, and I can preview what this looks like. So it's going to be the inside cover. So in this document, when the pages start to flip, we'll be able to preview and see what that looks like. And where we would see it. All right, so it's right about there. You see the inside cover photo as this booklet slips up. You can see this page is no longer green, but it's the image that we just brought in. All right, then there is this section here where it shows the back of the book. All right, this is going to be the main cover outro. So we want to double click main cover outro under our edit tab, and we're going to look for the final page of the ebook or the magazine, whatever you're working with. Same rules. We drop it in. We make sure that it's on the top layer. We right click. We come to transform, and I'm just going to say fit to comp. If you're not working with a image that is the actual size of a magazine or ebook, a standard paper ratio, then you might have to play with this specific template a little bit more. But it's pretty easy for what I'm doing here. All right, delete the bottom layer, and we can come back to our final comp, and you can see that it automatically imported and changed that end screen there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now to page 1. All right, look at page 1 of our ebook, and let's drag that in, right click, transform, and we're going to say fit to comp. All right. deleting that bottom layer. And we're going to page 2, double clicking, coming back, dragging in our next image, right clicking, transform, fit to comp. All right, we can change this to fit if we want to see a little bit more of it. And we're going to continue this process for all of our images. All right, so we've completed 6 now. We're going to hop over to our final comp and be able to see how this project is kind of coming to life. All right, so we have some more images in the mix. Okay, and we're going to continue this process moving along with page 7. Page 7, bringing up our document, going to the next page, right click, transform, fit to comp size. This is going to get faster and faster as you move on. Page 8, bring up our images, drag it in, transform, fit to comp. I'm deleting that placeholder image, and that's as fast as this process is. So once you get comfortable, it's going to be a lot easier to go ahead and complete this process. Just simply remembering every single step. Step number 1, double click. Step number 2, select your image. I like to simply drag it in. Step number 3, making sure it's on the top, transform, fit to comp. Step 5, deleting that last layer, and we're done there. All right, just a few more, and then I'll show you what this looks like. All right, we just completed page 19. What we're left with is these secondary cover art, start 1, 2 through 6. Part of the process of templates is really you're going to have to problem solve and see what each item that is editable is referring to. Okay, so we're going to come to our final comp, and we're going to be watching it now. And you can see if we come and click fit, and we change this to full. All right, let it load, give it a sec. You can see here, secondary cover art start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the frame that those guys are referring to. I'm going to go ahead and bring this back to a quarter so we can preview things a little easier. But in terms of the rest of the template, it looks like we're pretty much all done. Okay, and you can now choose, your specific images that you would like in these placeholders. So we're going to go ahead and double click secondary cover art start, and I'm just going to go ahead and continue putting in random images, transform, fit to comp, and delete. Secondary cover art start 2, bringing in another image, right click, transform, fit to comp, delete. Let's go ahead and finish this and then preview it once it's all done. What's really cool about this is pretty much all you've done is taken a intimidating process that is this template that looks like a lot and looks very complicated, and all we're doing is we're just dragging in the images that we want in the template, and then it edits everything for you, so you have a kind of really impressive, beautiful magazine or ebook or PDF video that you can use to sell your products, programs online, or just make for a client, and chances are they will love it as well. All right, so there we are. We're done with number 6. Let's come back to the main project here. I'm going to press these 2 little arrows to be able to navigate back to final comp. And look at that. You can see that these guys have imported in the right place, and we can scan through and see if there's anything that we missed. We're looking for any kind of blank placeholders. Looks like we have everything. And then, of course, if you'd like, the same exact thing happens with the logo. We can look over the logo tab here under the editing drop down menu, and we could place in our logo there. All right, it's an image. You could drop it in there. You could write text if you wanted to. If I wanted to delete this and just say logo. Okay, I can come up to my selection tool, or I can transform this if I want. I could scale it. Let's just scale it up for the sake of being able to show you an example. All right, and then when we come back to the final comp here, we've changed that, and we have our entire video. Now, time for exporting and customizing. Navigate back to the final comp, and making sure you're here, what I want to show you is, of course, how to export this, right? But also the background. So let's say you wanted to change the background color, or you just wanted to use a specific section of this video. Like, for example, there's certain parts of this template I like, but there's certain parts that are just hideous to me. I would never start a video, the way that this template starts. I might use, 2 seconds of this animated PDF, but I want to be able to edit and customize this a little bit more. And the software I like to do that in is Premiere Pro. So what I want to do is I want to take away this background. All right. Imagine somebody on a green screen, selling this, or you wanted to, if you are doing a fashion magazine or something, you want to be able to add other footage in the background, or maybe you want to change it to black, etc. All right. So what I want to do is we're going to be toggling the transparency grid. That is going to be what allows you to actually see if you do look up at the top, you can see these like zero transparency check boxes, right? And if we take that away, well, they go away as well. All right, so we can see if there's actually something in the background. In this case, there is, and usually it's called BG. So what I can go under BG, in this case, I could just try deleting all of these. Let me see if that works. Yeah, so if I delete all the BGs in the background, there's a chance it messes up your template. I'm going to come back and preview this at low quality. But in this case, that is exactly what I want to do. There are some weird shadows, it looks like, in the background of some of these. But for the most part, that looks great. And then you have your end screen. But I'm going to be using most of these cooler kind of edits. And I can edit out the logo. I'm not going to use that when I bring it into Premiere and work on the project that I'm working on. All right. So now come time for exporting. All right. In order to export this as a PNG video, I'm going to need to export it as an image sequence. Okay. So as always in After Effects, we're coming up to File. We want to click Export and Add to Render Queue. And what we're going to change here, if I do want this to be transparent, is I'm going to change it from QuickTime to a PNG sequence. All right. And I'm going to change the channels to RGB plus alpha and go ahead and press OK. And then I can choose the exact location where I want it to be saved in. I'm going to save it in that same folder, and then I would press render. Okay. Now, if I came into Premiere Pro, an example of what importing a image sequence would look like is I go ahead and go to File, Import, and I locate the folder that I saved my project in. And then what I do is I click the very first frame of that After Effects image export, because it's not a video. It can be kind of confusing. It's like 2,000 photos. All right, so I click the first frame, I make sure that this checkbox is selected, image sequence, and I just go ahead and click open. And what it does is it exports as a video. All right, and you can see the transparent background. This is a different template that was used, but this is going to be the exact process. And if we played it, you could see that, of course, it's animating things, it's flipping the pages, it's doing its thing, it's moving, and the background is transparent. So if I wanted to place something over it or under it, I totally could in Premiere Pro. Those are the export settings for the PNG image sequence. If you're happy with the template, you're like, this is sick, I just want to post this, you can go ahead and export it in an AVI format, QuickTime format. Channels can be alpha or RGB plus alpha, clicking OK, and then just saving that, wherever you want the file to be, and clicking render. But I'm going to set it back to the PNG sequence because I'm going to be using this in a project that I'm working on today. And again, that's the right location, and clicking render. All right, depending on your computer speed, this could take however long, but I hope that helped. I hope it allows you to create this customized magazine promo. If you do have specific questions, drop your comments below. And if you want to see other tutorials on anything, we cover the Google Drive, we cover a lot of online softwares, we cover video editing, cover photo editing, cover Illustrator, graphic design, marketing, crypto. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and drop all your questions for future tutorials in the comments below.